and welcome. I'm Craig Harrington, and today's topic is the trade deficit and job losses. The United States economy has not had a net balance of trade or a surplus since 1975. Every single year, 1976 to present, has been marked with an annual import deficit in the billions of dollars. And that number continues to grow. As of 2008, the import deficit came out to $677 billion. And the only reason the number was that small is because the recession dampened consumer spending so much that Americans simply couldn't afford to buy foreign-made products. By some estimates, up to 90% of our import deficit is dependent on our oil addiction and our imports from China. If we were to do anything to significantly address the amount of oil we bring into this country, or the amount of Chinese goods we bring into this country, we would have a major effect on our import deficit and help create huge industries in the United States. The U.S. government was faced with an interesting challenge when crafting its economic stimulus plan. Unfortunately, the plan which they came up with completely missed the boat. Instead of putting together a $787 billion package which was focused on infrastructure, energy, education, and jobs programs, the government put together one which is largely laden with tax rebates and reform projects which honestly could wait. The U.S. needs a renewed infrastructure. It needs to revamp its educational system. It needs to find homegrown energy solutions. And most importantly, Americans need jobs. Unfortunately, the stimulus program as it's currently crafted is not really a stimulus. One-time tax rebates are not going to solve the problem. In 2008, the Bush administration gave out over $100 billion in tax rebates, and up to 80% of that $100 billion went straight into the banks. The people who received their check simply put it into their savings and checking deposits, never to be touched again. They used it for a rainy day fund. Unfortunately, that money was summarily lost by the banks on their own bad investments. In the current economic stimulus plan, up to $300 billion is dedicated to these tax cuts and rebates, which means that up to 80% or more of that $300 billion will simply go uselessly into bank accounts around the United States. We need a better solution. We could have spent the nearly $800 billion putting together an educational system to train the workers of tomorrow. We could have put together energy solutions which would cut off our oil addiction and get the United States toward fuel-efficient vehicles or perhaps even an electric economy. We could have put together an energy system and an infrastructure program which would put the United States on par with the economies of Europe. Unfortunately, we did none of these. The U.S. government had a perfect opportunity to address a major problem. We could have built homegrown industries which would supplant the amount of items that we bring in from China. And we could have built homegrown energy solutions to offset the amount of oil that we are forced to import into this country. Instead of doing that, we simply ignored the problem. We addressed it with status quo policies which have proven themselves to fail in the past. The U.S. needs better solutions, and we need them now. On behalf of concerned citizens, I'm Craig Harrington with EconomyInCrisis.org News.
Wake up, America! Open up your eyes! Wake up, America! Wake up!
Produced by EconomyInCrisis.org.